Have you ever practiced yoga? Let's try it together today.
When I have a worry-filled mind, I like to wander outside. No telling what we might find. Birds calling, worms crawling, leaves falling down from above. Oh, I plant my feet on the ground. I keep my head in the clouds. I let my feelings out loud. I hear joy calling, fear crawling, tears falling down out of love.
Welcome, friends. I'm so glad you're here. My name is Mrs. A, if you don't already know, and we always start out by checking in with our feelings or our zones when we're together. This way we can get a better understanding of ourselves and our brains and our bodies and what we may need, and then we can also practice understanding each other a bit better as well. So today we're going to look at a feelings poster that I've made for you, and I'll zoom in on this feelings poster. And what I'd like you to do is look for a face that matches yours. Now, I don't mean the hair color will match or the skin color will match, and maybe it'll look different than you in some ways, but the features may look the same. For example, if I was making this face, what do you think I might be feeling? Yes, happy or excited, exactly. And if you were making that face, even though we look different, I would think you're probably happy and excited too. And so today, I'd like you to look at this feelings poster and find the face that has a similar emotion or feeling to you right now. Go ahead and take some time to do that, and I'll do that as well. Did you find your emotion or feeling in one of those characters? Fantastic, so did I. Let's say our feeling or emotion out loud. Let's say them together. You ready? 3, 2, 1. Curious. Thanks so much for sharing your feelings with me. Maybe you heard, I am feeling curious. And I'm feeling curious because I'm wondering, I have some questions about if you have ever practiced yoga or mindfulness, if you know what any of that means. And if you don't know yet, that's okay. We're going to talk about it today. If you already know what mindfulness is or you've practiced yoga before, fantastic. You have some previous knowledge, and that's going to help you today when we learn more together. Now, before we get started, I wanted to let you know that if you'd like to get your own copy of this feelings poster, you can visit my Patreon. And for signing up for just $1 a month, you get this as a thank you and a download. So you can print it out and hang it up in your own space and use it throughout the day and throughout the week, anytime you want to check in with your own feelings, or if you want to check in with others too and see how they're feeling as well. If you are unable or unwilling to support me on Patreon, that's okay. You can also hit that red subscribe button, and that is just as helpful. Now, just like we practice identifying our feelings and emotions each time we're together, we also practice moving our body and building our muscles. And one way we do that is by looking at the month. Each month has its own number that represents it. So, for example, January is the first month, February is the second month, and so on. Do you know what number month September is? I have a song to help us out. We can sing it together. January, February, March, and April, May, June, July, and August, September. Do you know what month September is? The 9th month. Wonderful thinking. So we are going to start by doing 9 exercises, and then we'll count down, and we'll do 8 and then 7. And to help us know what exercise to do, I have my friend Fig here. Fig always shows us one move we'll do. Go ahead and make some observations. Look at Fig carefully and see what muscles they're using, and see if you can guess what one of our moves will be. Big will help us out in just a minute. But to start us off, we are going to do 9 runs in place. And just to remind you, we're going to do 9 because September is the 9th month. So let's stand up if we're able and get ready to run in place as we count to 9. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Amazing job. Next, we need Fig's moves. What do you notice? They have their elbow and their opposite knee. Yes. Okay, so we are going to do elbow and knee taps. We're going to tap our right elbow with our left knee and our left elbow with our right knee. And we're going to do that as we count to 8. Will you join me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Fantastic. Now we have 7 moves to do. I thought we could get our arms involved. So we are going to do 7 arm circles. You can do these sitting or standing, whatever is best for you and your body. All you need to do is stick your arms out straight and make circles with them. You can make circles forward or backwards or a little bit of both. Let's count up to 7 as we make big arm circles. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. Now, anytime we exercise or move our body and build our muscles, we may notice that our heart rate increases or our heart starts to beat faster. And one thing that's really good for us to do when we're done moving or exercising is to cool our body down and slow our heart rate once again. And one way we always practice doing that is by taking big breaths. Now you'll hear a bell, and when you do, breathe in big and slowly let it out. We'll do 3 big breaths together. Will you breathe with me? Let's do it. Fantastic job. I hope you're feeling a little bit more cooled down and settled. At the beginning of this episode, I asked if you have ever practiced yoga before or know what mindfulness is, and we are going to talk a little bit more about why I asked that in our message today. So let's open up my journal here and get to reading. Dear creative and caring kids, yoga is a way to move your body, build your strength, and grow your focus. Although many people of all ages around the world practice it, yoga was originally started in northern India over 5,000 years ago. Wowza! While there are many different ways that people practice yoga, the benefits are the same. Anyone who tries it can benefit from feeling more grounded and calm, focused and clear-headed, and stronger and more balanced. That's pretty incredible, isn't it? Love, Mrs. A. Remember to look for any alliterations, onomatopoeias, or spoonerisms in my messages. Can you spot any? Friends, thank you for listening to my message. Did you notice anything about it? You may be wondering, what is an alliteration or a spoonerism or an onomatopoeia? Go back and check my first episode from season 3 where we talk a little bit more about those examples that you might find in my messages. But right now, let's focus on yoga. I am so excited to share these books with you, all about yoga and mindfulness. The first one's going to help us understand a little bit more about mindfulness, and I would recommend that you grab any or all of these books from your library or your local bookstore. You can also visit the link in my description to order your own copy online and actually support your local bookstore. So check that out if you'd like to grab any of these for your own library. The first book we're going to look at is called Mindful Moves, and it was written by Nicole Cardoza with illustrations by Marta Antella. And I love this book because it has a lot of wonderful examples that we can use throughout the day if we want to practice mindfulness, or throughout the week. So many different ways to try and practice. But we're going to look at just the first few pages to understand a bit more about what mindfulness is and see some connections about when we talk about our feelings and our emotions at the beginning of my videos. What is mindfulness? Mindfulness is about noticing what's happening right here, right now. We can discover so much just by paying attention. Mindfulness helps us explore how we feel. Different places and spaces can make us feel certain ways. When we go on mindful explorations, like the one in this book, we learn a lot about ourselves and about the world around us. So get ready, explorer. Let's go. Be a mindful explorer. Anyone can be a mindful explorer. All you need is your attention and your breath. With these two tools, you can go on all types of mindful adventures, even in the places you visit every day. Do you have your breath with you? Let's breathe. Good. Do you have your focus with you? Turn it on. How will it help? The world can be confusing and scary. Sometimes it can feel like things are happening all around us and there's nothing we can do. Have you ever felt that way before? Me too. Mindfulness is a way to choose how to respond when something happens to us. We can pause, take a deep breath, and decide what we want to do next. It might not make the anger, fear, or sadness go away, but sometimes it can help us feel a bit better. Have you ever felt scared or fearful? Have you ever felt angry or frustrated? When we take a moment to pause and practice mindfulness, we bring our attention to our breath and focus, we might notice that we start to feel a little bit calmer and clear-headed. Here's one mindfulness practice included in this book, which I thought was such a fabulous connection to when we talk about our feelings and our color zones. Let's listen. Check your inner weather. What's the weather like in your mind and body today? Go ahead, check your inner weather. Are there any storms brewing? Does it feel sunny and calm, cool or breezy? Here are some examples. Is it bright and sunny in your heart? Twisty like a tornado in your belly? Foggy in your mind? That's okay. Remember, you are like the sky. You are bigger than any rain cloud or storm that is passing through you. So no matter what weather you're feeling in your mind or your body, that's okay. We all feel lots of different things throughout the day and throughout our weeks. And you are bigger than that one storm or that one type of weather you're experiencing. You could recognize it. You could greet it. You could say, oh, hello, storm, or oh, hello, rainbow. And then you can decide what to do next. Now, this book, Mindful Moves, is filled with fantastic examples and fantastic prompts to help us practice mindfulness. So definitely grab yourself a copy if you haven't already. This next book is pretty popular, and so is the illustrator, so maybe you've seen it before. But I love how simple it is and how clearly it reminds us of all that we are. It is called I Am Yoga, and it is written by Susan Verde with art by Peter H. Reynolds. Maybe you've seen some of their work before. We'll look at just a few pages together. Let's listen. When I wonder how I fit in when the world is spinning so fast, I close my eyes and make room in my mind, in my heart, to create and imagine. I am yoga. I can see far and wide. I am focused. I I can turn things upside down. I am playful. I can stand up for me. I can stand up for others. I can stand up for peace. Maybe you noticed as I was reading that the character in this book was doing different poses or different moves. And each of these poses and moves are popular yoga positions or poses. And I'm really excited to share this next book with you too, called The ABCs of Yoga for Kids, which shows us a lot of different moves and a lot of different shapes we can make with our body. And so I love how these two connect to each other. As I said, I Am Yoga is a really beautiful and simple but powerful book about all the things we are and all the things we can be. Let's take a peek at this next one, The ABCs of Yoga for Kids, written by Teresa Ann Power, illustrated by Kathleen Wrights. As I mentioned, this book is filled with different poses and positions that we can practice when we are trying to move our body and create shapes. And we'll start at the letter C. And we'll just look at these 2 pages because there are so many examples on these 2 pages alone. But if you grab this book, you'll see there are examples from A through C. And so it's really fun to try them all out throughout the day or throughout the week. C. Go ahead and try these if you're interested. Cobra. Hiss, hiss. I am a snake, lying on my belly in the sun to bake. Elbows bent and close by my side, I lift my chest full of cobra pride. Look carefully at this character here. They are showing us the position, the shape of cobra. And you may be able to see why it's called that. Feel free to try any of these poses while I'm reading or after if you'd like, or pause if you want to have some time to practice them in between each poem. Cow. I am a cow on all fours, staring out the barnyard doors. I arch my back, inhale and say moo. Yoga is an activity I love to do. Exhaling now, I round my spine. This helps me keep my body aligned. Do you see them practicing cow? Some people call one part of this pose cow and the other part cat. You may hear people saying cat, cow. They're often practiced together. D. Dinosaur. The dinosaur walk is fun to do. Anyone can do it, even me and you. Standing up tall, I slightly bend my knees. I grab hold of my ankles and relax at ease. Then I walk slowly, lifting one leg at a time, knowing all the while that I'm doing just fine. I love that reminder that even if you stumble or fall out of a pose, you're doing just fine. You can recenter, refocus, and try again. That is one of the best things about yoga, is you get to keep practicing. The other D is for dog. I am a dog, stretching from a nap. On my hands and knees, I begin to yap. Straightening my legs and lifting my hips, I spread each and every one of my fingertips. Looking down, I can see my toes, and I focus on breathing in and out through my nose. Which one of these positions or poems is your favorite? Maybe you haven't tried them all yet. That's okay, like I said, go ahead and try them now or try them at the end of the video. I really like these poses, and I really like many of them that are included in this book, The ABCs of Yoga for Kids. So if you want to hear all the different examples, definitely grab your own copy from your library or that link in my description. Now, we are going to practice one yoga pose or mindful move together today, and it is called Star Pose. And I love this pose because anytime I'm feeling really small or a little nervous or uncomfortable, If I need to increase my confidence or if I need to feel a little bit more brave, I can do this pose with my body and I often feel a lot more courageous. So maybe you'd like to try this one with me and see if it works for you as well. All we need to do is stand up tall and spread our legs pretty wide, wider than our hips are. And then we're going to put our arms up in the air and spread them as well. And we will almost make a star shape with our body, with our arms, our legs, and our head. And we're going to stretch really far and wide and be a big giant star. And as we're in this position, we're going to breathe in and out through our nose. And we're going to hold this position as we breathe. 5 big breaths. Are you ready? Let's do it. 2 more big breaths. Fantastic. Friends, what did you notice in your body or in your brain as you were making that big star pose or star stretch? Wow, you felt brave. You felt big. Oh, you felt your breath. Yeah, it's interesting to see how we can notice or feel our breath when we're in different positions or shapes. Awesome job. Thank you so much for trying that mindful moment with me and for making your body into a star shape today. Before you go, I wanted to remind you that I love you because you're you, not because of what you do. And I can't wait to see you next time.